Who would have thought that Pope Francis was once so radical? Francis was once so radical. In his youth he sheltered guerrilla fighters, praised Marxism, and openly criticized capitalism. Not long after becoming Pope, he traveled to Cuba to meet Fidel Castro. During a visit to Bolivia, he was even gifted a crucifix in the shape of a hammer and sickle. Born in Argentina, Francis is the first pope from Latin America. In 1958, at just 22 years old, he joined the Jesuits. But in those turbulent times, even clergy could and stay untouched. Be the world. Where there is oppression, there is resistance. In the 1960s, Latin America was ruled by warlords, and ordinary people were ruthlessly exploited. The situation grew so dire that even religious institutions could no longer remain silent. This gave rise to liberation theology, a movement that interpreted the Bible through a Marxist lens, believing that if Jesus were alive today, he would be a guerrilla fighter. They preached that divine authority could come from the barrel of Ogun, stood firmly with the poor, and affirmed that the impoverished were truly children of God. Leading voices included Gustavo Gutierrez of Peru and Enrique Dussel of Argentina. Though Francis never took up arms himself, his thinking was clearly influenced by this movement. In the 1970s, Argentina was under a brutal military dictatorship. Francis sympathized with the leftist resistance and reportedly took great risks to protect guerrilla fighters. There's even a story that he gave his own ID to someone who resembled him so they could escape. In interviews, he admitted to having once been passionately in love with a girl, so much so that he nearly questioned his vocation. Some say this girl was a guerrilla fighter. By the year 2000, as Archbishop of Buenos Aires, he finally had the power to act. He publicly apologized on behalf of the Argentine Catholic Church for not doing more to protect the people during the military regime. He described modern capitalism as a new form of tyranny that is inevitably headed for collapse and ruin. He argued that capitalism at its core is about exploiting the poor, and as an unequal and exclusionary system, it ultimately amounts to a form of violence. In interviews, he's made it clear, though he is not a Marxist himself, he believes Marxists can be good people. In 2018, Francis sent a heartfelt birthday letter to Liberation Theology's founder Gustavo Gutierrez, thanking him for his contributions to humanity. Francis lives a life of remarkable simplicity. As Archbishop, he refused to live in the Grand Bishop's residence and chose a modest apartment instead. He usually took the bus to get around. Even after becoming Pope in 2013, he broke with tradition and declined to live in the Apostolic Palace. Francis as a person is progressive and compassionate, but the Roman Curia behind him still survives on capitalism's lifeblood. Had he not only sympathized, but actually joined the guerrillas, perhaps his influence would have been even greater. After all, mascots don't change the world, and even a pope has no army.